I've been working since I was 17, never asked for a dime. Paid for my own education, bought my first home alone, and then my parents sued me for stealing my brother's future. Here's how we got there. The job at 17 I took. My first real job at Millie's Diner. The Greasy Spoon on 5th and Main. Burnt coffee, Marlboros, truckers at 3 a.m. My first shift was a train wreck. Spilled coffee, mixed orders, a tray of plates exploding during the dinner rush. I wanted to quit. I didn't. Fear of being broke is a fantastic teacher. Within a week, I could balance 4 plates, memorize orders, and smile through insults about runny eggs. My first paycheck, $187.50 after taxes. I floated home. Dad glanced over his glasses and said, "Proud of you. Also, with you working now, let's have you contribute 30% to the household." Before I could answer, my younger brother Ryan shouted from the living room, "Can I get those new basketball shoes?" Dad smiled. "We'll grab them this weekend." That's when the family roles snapped into focus. Ryan was the investment. I was the contributor. I handed over 30% of every check. Ryan got gear, camps, and tutors. When I needed work shoes, I got a lecture about taking care of my things, so I worked more. I added a weekend job at the public library, $12 an hour, to shelve books in quiet. Then Mrs. Carter, our 80-year-old neighbor, hired me for yard work. $20 cash for raking leaves plus sweet tea and life advice. Every folded bill came with, "Save this for school." I did. The grind junior and senior year were a juggling act. School 8-3, diner 3-9, homework till midnight. Ryan's room got redecorated twice. His basketball leagues multiplied. My 30% household tax never moved. I got into North State University with a partial scholarship. I came home waving the letter. Mom said, "That's nice. Did you look? At community college?" Dad called state school impractical. I took a Greyhound to campus with 2 suitcases and a backpack. No SUV caravan, no dorm makeover. Just me. I opened at a cafe called Cosmic Coffee, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., then classes, then the evening rush. I studied till midnight. Weekends were doubles. I made the dean's list. At home, every call turned back to Ryan's points, camps, and coaches. Sophomore summer, I landed an internship at Redwood Financial. Mr. Lawson asked why he should hire a kid without connections. "Because I need this more, and I'll work harder." He hired me. $15 an hour to do real work. I learned analysis, client service, and that attention to detail has value. For the first time, an adult in power told me, "You have good instincts." I graduated with honors and a $50,000 offer from Redwood. My parents didn't come to graduation. Ryan had a tournament. I celebrated with friends and the cheap cap-and-gown photo of a kid who made it anyway. The Plan I rented a $650 studio. No, granite, no rooftop pool. I furnished it with Craigslist and yard sales. I lived like a monk on purpose. 5-year plan, year 1-2, kill loans and build an emergency fund. Year 2-3, save for a down payment. Year 3-5, buy a house. I skipped the after-work bar scene. I said no to live-a-little speeches from coworkers with family money. Month by month, the numbers moved. By year 2, my loans were gone, and I'd saved almost $20,000. Meanwhile, the hints started at home. Successful people help family. It would mean so much to Ryan if you pitched in. I said I was still stabilizing. They nodded. They kept asking. The house at 29. I bought a small brick 2-bed, 1.5 bath on Maple Street. Not fancy. Solid bones, weird wood paneling, a kitchen trapped in 1987. But it was mine. Friends helped me move. We toasted with plastic cups and cheap champagne. I invited my family for lunch. Ryan was genuinely excited. Mom admired the light. Dad checked the electrical panel like a home inspector. Then Dad set down his sandwich. Ryan's scholarship renewal came in lower than expected. They'll only cover about half next year. "That's rough," I said. What's the plan? Mom and Dad exchanged a look. You have this lovely house, and you're building equity, Mom said. Maybe you could take a small home equity loan to cover the shortfall. Just 1 year. Ryan will pay you back after he graduates. How much? I asked. 25,000, Dad said, like he was calling the weather. 25,000. On a house I'd just bought. For a problem they'd had 4 years. To prepare for. I can't do that, I said. I just closed. I can't take on that debt. The temperature dropped. Dad's face hardened. If you won't help willingly, he said, there are other ways to handle this. The knock 3 weeks later, someone hammered on my door. Not a neighborly tap. An official knock. A man in a cheap suit held out a manila envelope. Are you the homeowner? Yes. He handed it over. You've been served. I opened it. At my kitchen counter, hands shaking, my parents were suing me for stealing Ryan's future, for withholding family resources, for being responsible for myself. After 12 years of working, saving, paying my own way, and buying a modest home, my parents were taking me to court to pry 25 grand out of my walls. Blood is thicker than water, they say. They never mention how it can still burn. Next step, lawyer up. Because if there's one thing I've learned since I was 17, it's this. No one is coming to save you, so you save yourself.